Most people think that becoming rich is something you have to prove. Flashy cars, status, visible signs of success. But the uncomfortable truth is, the more you try to look rich, the further you get from actually being rich. Maybe you work hard, earn more than you used to, and still feel like you're not moving forward. Because deep down, a big part of your money is going toward maintaining an image, not building freedom. And that creates a silent prison that almost no one notices. In today's video, I'm going to show you why the most powerful kind of wealth is invisible, and how to adopt the behaviors that help your money grow quietly, without pressure, without comparison, and without self-sabotage. Stay with me until the end, because this might be the mindset shift that completely changes your relationship with money. 1. Why truly wealthy people don't show off wealth. Most people believe wealth has to be seen to be real. Flashy cars, massive houses, external signs that say, "I've made it." What almost no one realizes is that the most powerful money rarely makes any noise. Truly wealthy people walk into a room without announcing anything, and that's no accident. It's a strategic choice based on control, not ego. Research popularized by the Millionaire Next Door revealed an uncomfortable pattern for those who live for appearances. Many millionaires in the US live in regular neighborhoods and maintain modest habits. They don't confuse wealth with visible consumption. They understand that every dollar spent to impress is a dollar no longer working for them. That behavior, repeated over years, creates an almost invisible advantage. There's a deep psychological factor behind this. The need to impress others drains mental energy, attention, and capital. When you try to look rich, you start making decisions to maintain an image, not to build real wealth. And decisions driven by social approval are rarely rational. They ease the ego in the short term and quietly sabotage your future. Think with me about something simple. Every time a purchase has more to do with what people will think than actual usefulness, there's a hidden cost. It's not just the money spent, it's the investment that never happened. It's the time that money lost the chance to multiply. Rich people see that cost clearly, while most people ignore it completely. That's why invisible wealth grows faster. Without an audience, there's no pressure to keep up a persona. Without constant comparison, decisions become colder and more logical. The focus shifts from status to progress. That silence creates room for better, less emotional, and much more profitable decisions over time. The practical step here is simple, uncomfortable, but powerful. Identify your status expenses, the ones you make more to signal success than out of real need. Write them all down and look at them without guilt, just with honesty. Then, calculate what that money could become if invested for 10 years. That single calculation can forever change how you see wealth. 2. The behavior that builds. Quiet wealth. There's a comforting myth that wealth comes from above-average intelligence or extraordinary luck. But when you look closely at the people who actually build wealth over time, you see a different pattern. It's not genius, it's behavior. The way someone reacts, waits, repeats, and controls themselves financially matters more than any complex strategy. And that's counterintuitive to most people. In The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel makes this clear by analyzing decades of data and real stories. Ordinary people without huge salaries have built fortunes simply by staying disciplined and patient. They didn't try to predict the market or win every month. They created simple rules and followed them, even when no one was watching. That kind of consistency beats unstable talent. The interesting part is that the human brain hates this process. It prefers frequent decisions, a sense of control, and immediate rewards. That's why so many people go broke, even knowing exactly what they should do. The problem isn't lack of information. It's emotional friction. Every daily decision becomes an internal battle, and constant battles wear anyone out. This is where quiet, wealthy people play a different game. They reduce the number of decisions they need to make. They automate savings, investments, and transfers so the money is gone before it becomes temptation. They don't rely on willpower, they rely on systems. When you remove the choice, you also remove the impulsive mistake. The principle behind it is simple but powerful. Pay yourself first. Before paying bills, entertainment, or lifestyle, you pay your future. That money is already committed to growth. Whatever's left is what you can spend guilt-free. That one shift completely changes your emotional relationship with money. The practical step is straightforward and can be applied today. Set a fixed amount or percentage and automate savings and investments immediately after receiving your income. Don't wait to see if there's money left. There almost never is. Watch how, in just a few months, your wealth starts growing without constant mental effort. 3. Prioritize net worth, not gross income. Most people measure success by how much they earn each month. A high salary becomes a trophy, bar talk, and social validation. The problem is that income isn't wealth, it's just cash flow. You can earn a lot and still be financially fragile. Truly wealthy people know that the real game is played in net worth. People who build quiet wealth focus on net worth, not income. They track what they own minus what they owe, not just how much money comes in. This habit completely changes the kind of decisions you make. A raise isn't an automatic win if it comes with new debt. Growing without consolidating is just inflating your ego. There's a psychological trap here called status misery. When someone wants to prove they earn well, they start spending as if they're wealthier than they actually are. Their salary goes up, but so does their lifestyle, and their net worth stays stuck. It looks like progress on the outside, but inside, capital isn't taking root. It's movement without building. Rich people look at this coldly. They don't ask, "How much do I make?" They ask, "How much of it stays with me?" Every decision goes through that filter. Switching cars, moving to a new home, or accepting a bonus always comes with a quiet question. Does this strengthen or weaken my net worth? That mindset protects wealth better than any exotic investment. When you start measuring your net worth, your relationship with money changes. Impulsive spending becomes less attractive because the impact is visible. Debt loses its charm because it shows up as a real weight. The focus shifts from monthly appearance to accumulated building. That brings clarity and removes the anxiety of comparison. The practical step here is simple but transformative. Use a spreadsheet or an app to calculate your net worth every month. Assets on one side, debts on the other. No illusions. Focus on the trend, not just the number. Those who track net worth build wealth. Those who track salary build illusion. 4. Financial freedom without exposure. For a lot of people, financial freedom has become a spectacle. Screenshots of bank accounts, charts on Instagram, stories edited to look faster than they actually were. The FIRE movement was born as the opposite of that. It was never about showing off wealth. It was about buying freedom quietly. Less external noise, more internal control. The core principle of FIRE is simple but demanding. Save and invest a high portion of your income to reduce your future dependency on work. There's no glamour in this process, just consistency. People on this path understand that freedom doesn't need an audience. The fewer people who know your plans, the less emotional interference there is. There's also a powerful psychological effect here. When you set clear financial goals based on your real cost of living, your anxiety drops. You stop chasing unrealistic benchmarks and start playing your own game. The desire to prove success fades because you have direction. Clarity reduces vanity. A common mistake is confusing financial goals with Instagram goals. Giant houses, constant vacations, a bloated lifestyle that requires constant exposure. FIRE rejects that. It starts from the idea that freedom comes from reducing needs, not inflating desires. The lower the cost of your ideal life, the faster it becomes possible. People who pursue quiet wealth understand that rushing results creates unnecessary pressure. Talking too much invites outside expectations. External expectations lead to poor decisions. Silence protects your plan, your focus, and your discipline. This isn't isolation, it's strategy. The practical step here is straightforward. Calculate your actual expenses, not idealized ones. Set an independence goal based on that number, not on social comparisons. Use it as your guide and keep the process low profile. Financial freedom grows best away from the spotlight. 5. The underestimated power of strategic frugality. When most people hear the word frugality, they think of scarcity, limitation, or a small life. But truly wealthy people see frugality as a strategy, not deprivation. They choose intentionally where their money goes instead of letting their lifestyle grow on autopilot. That creates a quiet advantage few people notice. The biggest enemy of net worth is lifestyle creep. Your income rises and, almost without noticing, so do your expenses. New comforts become needs, and what used to be extra becomes a monthly obligation. Studies and investor observations show that people who build lasting wealth avoid this trap. They keep their costs controlled even when they could afford to spend more. The difference is in intention. Strategic frugality isn't about cutting everything. It's about cutting what doesn't create real value. Rich people don't save on everything, but they are extremely selective. They spend on what increases time, health, focus, or freedom. The rest is seen as financial noise. This behavior also strengthens self-control. When you don't automatically react to every income increase, you start to take charge of your lifestyle. Money stops being the boss and starts obeying you. That creates a sense of internal power that doesn't depend on outside approval. There's also a lesser-known compounding effect. Small decisions, repeated month after month, create a massive gap over the years. While some people adjust their lifestyle upward, others adjust their wealth. In the long run, that difference defines who works by choice and who works by necessity. The practical step here is simple and highly effective. Use the 30-day rule before making any non-essential purchase. Wait, let the impulse pass, and observe the impact on your net worth. That small delay filters out urges and protects your wealth quietly and consistently. 6. Image control and financial privacy. There's an invisible cost to making your financial life public. The more people know about your income, the more expectations arise. Requests, comparisons, judgments, and pressure start to show up in subtle ways. Discreet, wealthy individuals understand that privacy isn't fear, it's protection. They carefully choose what to show and what to keep private. When you reveal results too soon, you create unnecessary pressure. You start making decisions based on how you'll be perceived, not on what's smartest. The need to maintain a certain narrative traps you in choices you might not make on your own. In this case, silence works as an emotional buffer. It keeps your focus on the process, not on external reactions. There's also a lesser discussed social factor. Showing prosperity attracts attention that doesn't always come with good intentions. People start to see you as a resource, not as a person. Strategic invisibility reduces poorly placed requests for help, conflicts, and even security risks. Less exposure means less interference. Even generosity can benefit from silence. The concept of stealth giving shows that many wealthy people prefer to help without broadcasting it. They do good without turning it into a public identity. This kind of giving preserves humility, avoids comparisons, and keeps the action aligned with purpose, not applause. Controlling your image isn't about pretending to be less, it's about talking less. You don't owe anyone explanations about your lifestyle, your goals, or your earnings. People who build wealth calmly understand that the real game is internal. The less external noise, the clearer your decisions become. Discretion turns into a competitive advantage. The practical step here is to establish a personal policy of financial privacy. Decide consciously what you share and with whom. Avoid numbers, details, and unnecessary narratives. 7. Sufficiency and the end of the always more race. There's a form of poverty that doesn't show up on a bank statement, the inability to feel that what you have is enough. Morgan Housel explains this clearly when observing people who made a lot of money but still lived with restlessness. They never defined what enough meant. Without that internal limit, no number brings peace. The problem with always more is that it has no finish line. When you double your income, you also double your benchmark. What once felt like luxury becomes your new baseline. And without realizing it, you enter a race where the goal keeps moving. This creates constant anxiety, even in people who are financially successful. Many have lost fortunes not because of bad luck, but because they lacked a sense of sufficiency. There are countless stories of entrepreneurs and investors who kept risking everything because they didn't know how to stop. They earned, then earned more, and still felt it wasn't enough. One wrong move, driven by greed and comparison, was enough to wipe out years of progress. Those who are truly emotionally wealthy do it differently. They define a "this is enough" point and protect it with discipline. That doesn't kill ambition, it simply places clear boundaries. When you know what's enough, you can say no with peace of mind. And saying no is one of the highest forms of power. There's a simple tool that can change this internal game. Every week, reflect on what's already enough in your life today, not based on external standards, but on your reality. Time, comfort, security, choices. This exercise trains your mind to recognize abundance before chasing expansion. Invisible wealth isn't just money saved, it's peace preserved. When you stop running to prove something, you gain the energy to actually live better. Money becomes a tool, not an identity. And at that point, you haven't just built net worth, you've built real freedom.